Hi, my name is Nicole Moore, and my graphic novel is The Lumberjanes. It's written by Noelle Stevenson and Grace Ellis, and it's illustrated by Brooke Allen. It's published by Boom Studios, and I feel like it's definitely a graphic novel, being that there are multiple issues, and while the story has a complete beginning, middle, and end, it leaves a cliffhanger for the next adventures. Um, the story is about five students at the Lumberjane Scout camp, and there's something supernatural about the camp, and they find themselves in a lot of kick butt adventures and trying to figure out what's going on at their camp. And Act 1 is from page 1 to 55, Act 2 is from page 56 to 103. And this is definitely the camper story. So Joe, April, Mal, Molly, and Ripley, um, I think this volume is really their introductory story. And in the beginning, it says a camp. I can't remember the exact words, but it was a camp for kick butt girls, and these girls definitely are kick butt. They all have really different personalities, and it's really fun to read them interact with each other. And it's fun to look at the graphics of it too. The graphics are really cool in this comic, like their interactions. It's really, really awesome. And in Act 2, the river monster really pushed the story into gear. It definitely moved the plot forward. It felt like it's where they really started figuring out, yes, this is supernatural. It's not all in our head. There's something going on here. And it was kind of like an Indiana Jones adventure. That's what it felt like to me because of the way when they went to the underground and just trying to figure everything out. It was really cool. And they definitely got to see some of the weird things that were going on at their camp. And let's see. The story does have a clear story arc. The beginning, they have the weird encounter with the foxes when they're in the woods trying to earn their night badge, and that really leads them to believing that there's something supernatural going on at the camp. And let's see. And the middle really is where you start to see more of the weird things happening with the lake monster. That was very just obvious that at that point, yes, supernatural. The magical foxes were interesting, but I think the lake monster is where you really started to see it. And the ending was a cliffhanger, so I didn't really find that satisfactory, but I think it sets up the next issue really nicely, and I wouldn't mind reading the next issue because I really enjoyed reading this. I think all the girls share the story arc. They all have their own personalities, so it's really introducing them as characters in this first issue. I think the next issues they might get to have their own little adventures, but I think they're still going to mainly be together, and I think they'll grow together when they grow as well. But everyone pretty much stayed the same in this one because it is that introductory story. So we haven't seen that change in them yet. And it doesn't really use the page as a mini comic. It's really nicely set up, and it doesn't use that structure. And for Scott McCloud's transitions, I saw moment to moment. So things would change. You would see the transition from their facial expressions from moment to moment in each of the graphics. I also noticed the subject to subject changes. So we would be in the camp counselor's office, and then it would go to the camper in her bathroom. So it would have those like transitions. I didn't really notice any action to action or scene to scene. I think it's mainly those moment to moment and subject to subject for those transitions. Let's see. And my fun fact about Lumberjanes is actually their camp slogan. It got me really interested in reading it. They put it at the beginning, and it really makes you feel like a Lumberjane camp scout. So I was going to read that to you guys. And I'm going to have to put on my glasses to do this on my phone. And I solemnly swear to do my best every day and in all that I do, to be brave and strong, to be truthful and compassionate, to be interesting and interested, to pay attention and question, the world around me, to think of others first, to always help and protect my friends. There's a line about God or whatever, and to make the world a better place for Lumberjane Scouts and for everyone else. I just thought that was really cute, and it definitely was something that got my attention um, in the story. And the page count, I forgot to do that. The page count for the story is 103 words, but there are some pictures in the back of the story. So from page 104 to 132, there's like a camp photo booth almost. So you get to see just like pictures of the camp. That's really cool. Just pictures of the story without any of the wording or anything like that. And the last question, I think, is for the lettering and the imaging, and I think that it was done really well. Um, it definitely pulled me in. I was interested from the camp slogan. I thought that was really cool, but the way the letters are definitely grabs the reader, and it's not in the way of anything that you would want to see more. Um, when we saw the sign in the beginning that said the kick butt camp for camp for kick butt girls, none of that was covered. It was perfectly just put out there so we would see that and then have the wording as well. So I think they did a really good job with um, giving us what we wanted to see. Um, thank you. That was, I think that's all. Thank you. Have a good night.